button work menu. What we're going to do is create a menu and then have two scenes that will be accessed from that menu. Our first option, we're going to click on the rectangle tool. We're going to change so there's no fill. I'm going to change the stroke so it's about 10. Click on a corner of the stage after you fit in window and draw a border around the stage. After you've got that, what we're going to do is click on our text tool up at the top, make it about point size 24, change the color. I'm going to type out the title for our menu, and it's going to be button work menu. Once I've got that typed, use my select tool, move it to the center. Next thing I'm going to do is click on the text tool. I'm going to type in green circle grows. And a second text box that's going to say blue box spins. What I'm also going to do is put a rectangle that doesn't have a fill and has a border. I'll make that border about 20 and put it around each of the two options that I've created. I'm also going to change scene 1 to the word menu, and I'm going to have everything lowercase. Now I'm going to create a new scene, and this new scene I'm going to give it the name green. So I'm going to double click on scene 2. I'm going to type the word green. When I've got that, this is green circle grows. What I'm going to do is select the oval shape. I'm going to draw a oval that has a fill but doesn't have a stroke, and I'm going to make that on the middle of the screen. Just going to give it going to call that a graphic symbol, and I'll call it G1. And I'll put a keyframe at 50. Create a motion tween, go to frame 50, and resize. So when I play that, you'll see that I have a green circle for the green scene. After I've got that, I'm going to click on the plus. I'm going to make the next scene, I'm going to call it blue. Notice that everything is lowercase. This is going to be a blue rectangle, so I'm going to change the color to blue. I'm going to change the shape to rectangle. When I've got that, I'm going to draw my blue rectangle. I'm going to select it. I'm going to right click, convert to symbol. It's going to be a graphic symbol. I'll call it B1. Once I've got that, I'll put a keyframe at 50. Create a motion tween. I'll go back to frame 1. I'll change the rotate to clockwise. So now if I play that, I'll see that my green box spins. Once I've got all of that done, I'm going to go back to my menu scene. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add scripts to make these things happen. First of all, since my menu is 1 frame long, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stop statement at that so that it won't go past it. So when I click on frame 1, I'm going to hit the F9 key on the keyboard. Up come the actions statements. I'm going to go to Global Functions chapter, and inside of that I'm going to go to the Timeline Control section. So when I got the Action Script 1.0 and 2.0 screen, I opened up Global Functions, I opened up Timeline Control. And when I've got that, I can see that I've got a stop there. I'm going to double click on stop. When I've got that there, I'm going to click on the check, and that'll just check syntax to make sure there's no mistakes. Since that's good, I'll click OK, and I'll close my scripting menu. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to go to my scene menu. I'm going to go to the last frame of my green scene, and I'm going to click on frame 50. I'm going to hit F9. When I hit F9, up comes my script panel. I'm going to go to and play. I'm going to double click on go to and play from the timeline control. Up comes go to and play. I'm going to put a double quote. The name of the scene is called menu, so I'll put that in quotes. I'll put a comma, and then I'll put a 1. So what I've got at the end of my green scene is go to and play menu, comma 1. I'm going to actually use that same exact script on my next scene, but I want to test that to make sure that's right. So I'll click a check, and then it works, so I'm good. So I'm going to close that as well. Next, I'm going to click on my blue scene. I'm going to click on the last frame of my blue scene. I'm going to hit F9. I'm going to double click on go to and play. I'm going to type quote menu quote comma 1. Once I've got that, I'm going to click on the check to see that it works. Once it is good, I'm going to close that as well. Now, the only thing I need to do is make my menu scene work. To do that, I'm going to create an invisible button that I can put over the pretend buttons I've got out on the menu scene right now. I'm going to click on Insert, New Symbol. It's going to be a button symbol. I'm going to call it Invisible Button. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the hit state of that button. I'm going to right click. I'm going to insert keyframe. I'm now going to select my rectangle tool. I just want to fill, and I'm going to draw a rectangle around the area of where that registration point is, right in the middle. So I've now created a button that's got a hit state, so it'll be clickable. So I'm going to click on my menu scene. In my library now, if you take a look, there is an invisible button symbol. I'm going to drag that invisible button and put it on top of where it says green circle grows. I'm going to resize it so it covers that area. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on invisible button grows again. I'm going to put that over blue box spins. When I've got that, I'm going to click on my first invisible button where it says green circle grows. I'm going to hit F9. When I hit F9, what I need to do is I need to create an event that's going to cause that button to work. So I'm going to type in on parentheses. When I type in R, release pops up. So I'm going to double click on release. And then I'm going to end with a right parentheses. So that's the event, on mouse release, which is just on release. The next thing you need to do is find a bracket. The left bracket is right next to the P key on the keyboard. So I'm going to hold the Shift key down and hit the left bracket. It's important to make sure you've got that bracket. It's the Shift key and the key right after the P. When I hit Enter, if I've got the right bracket, what I'll notice is that it indents. What this says is that there could be more than one statement there. Well, there's only one, but that's what I'm going to use. So the next statement is a go to and play. When I double click go to and play, what I need to do is notice that this needs to be playing the green scene. So I'm going to put quotes, green, comma 1. And when I've got that, I'm going to click at the end of it and hit the Enter key. I'm going to hold the shift key and hit the bracket on the right side. When I click on the check, it says there's no errors. So I'm good. So what I'm going to do once I've got that is I'm going to close that. So now I need to write the script for the other button as well. So what I'm going to do right now is when I click on that, I'll hit F9. I'm going to type on, parentheses, and then release. When I type RE, I get the word release. Put a parentheses in, put my left bracket, hit the enter key. Once I have that, I'm going to go to and play again. This time it's going to be playing the blue scene. So I'm going to put quote blue, quote, comma 1. I'm going to end with the right bracket, and I'm going to click on the check to check the syntax. So that's good too. I'm going to close that. Now, I finished this. To see if it works, I'm going to hit Control Enter. If I click on green circle grows, I should see the green circle scene play, which is the green circle going, and then it comes back to the menu. If I click on blue box spins, I should see the blue box spinning, and then it comes back to the menu.